Okay, so I just got to say right now that the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 7 right here, I mean, this device has truly surprised me. What's going on, everyone? Josh Quinones here. So I've been using the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 7 right here for the past couple of weeks now, and I just gotta say, I have been enjoying my experience with this phone right here. And today, at the time of making this video, it's actually the official launch day. So to everybody who now has their Galaxy Z Fold 7 in hand, congratulations. What do y'all think about it? Let me know down in the comments. And as you are watching this video, let me know if you agree with a lot of the things I have to say about this device, or if you disagree. I would love to know your thoughts. And for those of you who are kind of on edge still about getting this phone, you're not really sure if you should get it or not, and that's exactly why you're watching this video, I'm just gonna tell you right now, right off the bat, the Galaxy Z Fold 7 is definitely worth it. It has surprised me more than I thought it would. Because for me personally, you know, with past Fold devices, I've always loved the Fold lineup from Samsung, but it just didn't quite seem super practical for me. As much as I love the devices, because of the type of work that I do and just everything else that I do, it didn't really seem practical for me, especially because battery life wouldn't last as long as like the Galaxy, S series of devices. So I would always pick the Galaxy S series device just a little bit over the Galaxy Fold device. But I gotta say, this has been handling everything for me. Everything that I've been throwing at it, I mean, it has been doing business. So this is going to be my full review for the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 7, and I just wanna have a conversation with you and share what my experience has been like with the Z Fold 7 right here, just, coming from a normal guy. So first of all, I know that this has been talked about many times on many videos throughout YouTube and on the internet. Form factor. I know we've heard about how slim it is. Oh, it's Samsung's slimmest foldable device. It's almost as, slim as the Galaxy S25 Ultra. And yes, that's true. I don't want to talk about it too much in this video because I know we have heard it all, but I got to say that form factor does play a big part in why I love this phone so much. It doesn't feel like a huge brick in my pocket like with the Galaxy Z Fold 6, because yes, even though that device is still a little bit thin, but for a foldable, it was still, kind of thick. But now that they have made this nice and slim, it feels like a regular device in my hand, just a little bit more narrow, but definitely not as narrow as last year's Galaxy Z Fold 6. It's kind of in the middle between the Z Fold 6 and the Galaxy S25 Ultra. It's narrow enough to use one-handed, but it's wide enough to use two-handed, if that makes sense. For me personally, I find it right at that sweet spot, especially because I don't have the biggest hands in the world. So it works perfectly for me actually, and I absolutely love this outer display. And then when it just comes to the overall body, when it is closed, it feels so nice in the pocket. And I gotta compare it to the Galaxy Z Flip 7 right here really quick, because even though the Galaxy Z Flip 7 is, technically a smaller device, it's actually thicker than the Galaxy Z Fold 7 when it is closed. And I gotta say, the Z Fold 7 actually feels better in the pocket than the Z Flip 7. This feels kind of boxy, a little bit thick, and it just makes it feel like you got a little box in your pocket. But this one just slides in your pocket just nice and smooth. It's like evenly well balanced, except for, of course, the camera modules in the back that do protrude out a bit. But the form factor is great. I love that Samsung gave us a nice, slim, foldable device this year. And then when you open it up, of course, this is to be expected. It is much more slimmer than when it is closed. So good job with that, Samsung. Okay, that is enough about how slim or thin this device is. But overall, I mean, definitely a beautiful looking device when it comes to the display, when it comes to the back of the device. This is available in this nice blue color, which I love so much. And then you got a jet black color, you got the silver color, and then you have the new exclusive mint color, which you can only get online. And honestly, after using it for some time and after I've gotten more comfortable using it over these past couple weeks, it doesn't feel like a super fragile device. Yeah, I am using a screen protector on it. Yes, I do use a super slim case right here to keep it nice and thin and not add too much bulk to it. But aside from that, I mean, it seems like it's a pretty durable device for a slim, folding phone. The hinge feels nice and tough, and just the overall device, I mean, it's a nice premium phone, but it feels like it can take a little bit of a beating for a foldable device. Okay, but again, that's enough about form factor and the looks and everything. I want to talk about performance. Now, like I mentioned earlier, I have just been throwing everything at this phone. I've mentioned this in previous videos and at previous videos about this phone as well. I use my smartphone for everything. I don't use a laptop. I don't use a computer. My smartphone literally is my little computer in my pocket and just takes care of everything. So when it comes to performance, I have absolutely no complaints when it comes to the Z Fold 7 right here. First of all, just scrolling through the device is super smooth. Whether you're using that outside display, because we're still getting that 120 hertz of smoothness on the outside display, or going into the inside display, still a super smooth experience. Again, with that 120 hertz display, I mean, it is a butter. And then of course that paired with the Snapdragon 8 Elite processor that we have in this device, I mean, it just has it running like a boss. I mean, I'm doing tons of 4K video editing on this phone right here. A lot of the past videos that have been here on the channel since I've gotten this phone have all been edited on this phone. All my thumbnails have been edited on this phone. All of my mobile gaming is done on this phone. All of my emails, social media, web browsing, literally everything is done on this smartphone, and I'm able to get through all of it without any hiccups, without any lagging, stuttering. I mean, it handles it all, and it has really surprised me with that performance. I mean, it makes you not want to put the phone down. I have a hard time putting this phone down because how enjoyable it is to use, whether I'm using the outside display or the inside display. Now, one complaint that I do have, and I did mention this in a previous video, is that there is no more S Pen support for that bigger inside display. And for me, the S Pen was a big deal. I know there's a lot of people who don't really care for the S Pen, and I'm not saying this is a deal breaker. I'm not saying, oh, because it doesn't have S Pen support, don't buy it. No, because I'm still enjoying this phone. If you want to buy it, buy it. But it's still a bummer, and it's something that I am still disappointed about, you know, that Samsung took away that S Pen support. Because yeah, you know, I did go out and buy a stylus like this to kind of put a band-aid on the issue, I guess. And yeah, it's still, you know, it works on this. I'm still able to, you know, edit my photos and videos with this. But when it came to actually using the S Pen on this inside display, I was able to do stuff and still have my palm on the actual big display right here, because, you know, it is a big phone. So, you know, sometimes it's more comfortable to just set your palm down and do what you got to do. With this, I can't do that. If I'm trying to outline something or, you know, edit a photo and I accidentally put my palm on the screen while I have this on the screen, I accidentally tap something out or edit out of or exit out of whatever it is I'm doing, or accidentally hit one of the ads or something. And it is just so annoying sometimes when that happens. So just having an S Pen, that S Pen support is so much better than having a stylus like this. Like I said, this does get the job done. There's just little walkarounds that I have to do to make sure I'm not accidentally, you know, like I said, hitting my palm on there, or I don't have any of those, you know, S Pen features that came with the S Pen. So that is enough talking about the S Pen. Y'all already know I am bummed out about that. But yeah, performance, you just can't go wrong. And like I said, if you are a heavy mobile gamer, this is definitely going to handle all of your gaming. And I did a full dedicated video showing what gaming is like here on the Z Fold 7, and it just performed great, especially when you hook up a wireless controller with this device right here and play a game like Fortnite. I mean, you literally feel like you're playing on a game console, just on a smaller display than an actual big TV. You know what I mean? So, I mean, the gaming experience on here is great as well. Now, when it comes to battery life, I wouldn't say that I'm fully disappointed with battery life here on the Z Fold 7, and I did do a full all-day real-life battery drain test here on the channel. We got some decent, you know, screen on time and decent battery life during that test, but I'm averaging around anywhere from like 6 to 7.5 hours of screen on time. It really just depends on what I'm doing that day on my phone, because you can easily get tons of screen on time on your phone if you're, say, just reading stuff all day in dark mode. And, you know, you can read for a long period of time. And if you're in dark mode, yeah, it's going to extend that screen on time because it's not going to use up too much battery, you know, on the display, whether you're using the outside display or the inside display. But if you turn around and start doing things like just heavy gaming all day, then yeah, that is going to bring that screen on time down, because it is going to consume more power, you know, from this device right here. So it really just depends on what you're doing. But for me and what I use my phone for, like I said, I use it for everything. I'm still averaging around anywhere from 6 to 7 hours, 7.5 hours sometimes of screen on time, which for me is pretty good. I mean, I really shouldn't be looking at my phone all day long anyways. But I do wish that battery life got me just a little bit further into the night, because it does get me through the most important part of my day. It's just not getting me super late into the night. And sometimes I do stay up really late in the night. So around maybe if I take the phone off the charger around 7 in the morning, say, and it gets around maybe 7 at night, maybe close to 8, I will have to throw this phone on the charger to charge it up a bit, give me some juice to last the rest of the night until I'm ready to go to sleep. So battery, it's decent, it's pretty good, but it's not the best battery life I've ever seen in a smartphone. But the fact that they were able to get the phone this thin and still give us the same size battery as last year's Z Fold 6, that's actually pretty impressive. Like I said, it's not horrible battery life, but it could be better. Hopefully next year, Samsung will go with that, what is carbon silicone battery or whatever it's called, to where we can get an even bigger battery, but keep this same slim body. So we'll see what happens next with next year's Fold device. Hopefully Samsung will go that route to give us a bigger battery and we can get more battery life out of this device. Because I mean, with the Fold device like this that performs as good as it does, that allows you to do everything that you can do on it, especially with all the multitasking and everything, you can have like multiple windows open at the same time. With a device like this, you're gonna want a battery that's going to last you all day, because this is something that you can be really productive on and just really get work done. If you're someone who handles a lot of business on your phone, I mean, this is definitely a great phone for that. But yeah, we can definitely use a bigger battery when it comes to these Fold devices right here. But like I said, I mean, you won't really be too disappointed when it comes to battery life, because it is still going to get you through the most important part of your day. And then of course, with battery life comes charging speeds. I'm just gonna say this, we definitely need some faster charging speeds on these Fold devices. When it comes to the Z Fold 7 right here, we can definitely use just a little bit of a faster charging speed. That's all I'm gonna say. Now, when it comes to the speakers, because yeah, we have this big, beautiful display on the inside to watch some content, but of course you're gonna want your content to sound good too. You don't only want a good viewing experience, you want a good sound experience as well. Now the speakers actually sound really, really good. But I will say that they're not the loudest speakers I've heard. I think the Galaxy S25 Ultra has a bit of louder speakers. I mean, they're nice, clear sounding speakers. The sound itself is actually really good, but I wish it had just a little bit more bass to them as well. That's just me, that's just my opinion. I feel like they can use just a little bit more bass, but I think because of how thin this phone is, they couldn't get the speakers to match like what we get with the Galaxy S25 Ultra, but that's just my take on the speakers when it comes to this device. Now, what about the cameras here? So when it comes to taking photos, the photos are actually really good that you get here with the Galaxy Z Fold 7. We're now getting a main 200 megapixel camera on this device. So yes, we now have an ultra flagship camera on this phone right here. Not only that, but you do have, that ultra wide angle lens and the telephoto lens 3x zoom. Although I do wish that Samsung would have put a 5x telephoto lens in this device right here. But I mean, you can still get some work done with the 3x telephoto lens. And I have been able to capture some great shots with all 3 lenses on this device. And I am more than happy with the photos that I have been getting on this phone, especially if you're just a casual user when it comes to your smartphone. You're not, one of those professional photographers where you got to get your angles right, the lighting right. You just want to be able to pull out your phone and capture the moment. And the cameras on this phone, they do that. They're going to be able to capture your moment so you don't ever have to forget what you experienced that day or at that moment. And that's whether you're taking photos in the daytime or even the nighttime. Nighttime photos still come out great as well. You got that night mode that I do, suggest that you use. If you are taking photos in the night, use that night mode and you'll get even brighter photos with more clarity, more detail. So you can still get some good night shots with the cameras on this device as well. Now, they won't always come out perfect. They won't always come out the best. I will admit that. But for the most part, I mean, the cameras on this device are really good. And then when it comes to video actually really surprised me. If you haven't checked out my 4K video test with this device yet, I encourage you to do that after watching this video, and you'll see what video quality is like with the cameras on this device when it comes to 4K video. And I might be doing a full 8K video test as well, but when it comes to 4K video, I am not disappointed with the cameras on this phone. I will say when it comes to nighttime, if you're trying to record video in really low light, yeah, it can be a bit fuzzy, maybe a bit jittery if you have a lot of movement, but that's kind of expected kind of with every smartphone, at least from my experience with all of the video tests I've done in the past. But I mean, overall video quality is great as well. And what I really like about using the cameras on this phone is that you can use the main cameras for everything, not only taking photos of other things, but taking selfie photos or videos as well, because you are able to use this outside display to see yourself. And that is great because you're always going to get the best quality when using the rear facing cameras rather than this outside, selfie camera on the outside display, or even that inside camera on the main display. So that is just a nice feature right there that has been available on these Fold devices. And when you do use this camera on the inside display, it is now showing, it's not covered anymore. It's not an under display camera. So you are getting better quality with that camera as well. And it is nice and wide also. So you don't actually have to go into like an ultra wide angle lens to take an ultra wide selfie. They have made it wider. So if you got, if you want to take a big group photo, just, selfie style, you can be able to do that with this inside camera right there. Although I will say, I don't really ever find myself using this inside camera anyways. I'm always using either the camera on the outside display or the main cameras, like I said, because you're gonna get the best quality possible with the main cameras right there. So honestly, if I'm being completely honest here, I really wouldn't mind if Samsung just got rid of that inside camera just altogether and gave us a full inside display. But I mean, either way, I really don't mind this either, because if I do have to use this inside camera for whatever reason, at least I know that the quality is still going to be good. Okay, now what about water resistance? Because this is a folding device. So, there is that fear of having water somehow get into the phone. Samsung has actually done a pretty good job when it does come to water resistance. Now, I'm not saying go dunk your phone in water, even though they do have ads kind of showing that the phone being dunked in water. I still personally would not do that. I am not going to chance that. But while I was out in New York using this device, it was raining quite a bit out there, and I was using this device out in the rain. As you can see right here from the B-roll that I am showing, water was getting on the device, and I wasn't really trying to be too cautious about it. I was just, using the device to take photos, videos, and the phone was still good. The Z Fold 7 right here was still good. It survived the rain out there, and it still came out performing like new. It doesn't have any water damage from what I've noticed so far. I mean, obviously I can't see inside the phone, but I mean, it still seems to be performing like a brand new device. So when it comes to like rain and stuff like that, you should be safe. Or if you happen to accidentally spill a little bit of water on this device, you should be okay. Now, I've gotten a lot of questions about this. Does the phone open completely flat? Well, let's see. If I open it up just kind of regular like this and let it kind of just snap open on its own, it's got a little bit, I mean, it almost looks flat, but not 100%. It was looking 100% flat for a lot of the time until just about maybe a few days ago. It started not opening completely, but if I kind of just pull back on both sides a little bit, then it will stay completely flat. It will stay like that until I close it again and then open it up, and I will just have to put a little pressure on both sides, and then it will stay, completely flat. And then when it comes to that crease in the middle, at first, I mean, Samsung has definitely improved the crease on this device. When you compare it to last year's phone, it's hardly noticeable, especially when using the phone and you have the screen on and you're doing stuff and you're just looking straight on and just enjoying this big inner beautiful display. I mean, obviously the crease is there, but I mean, you can hardly notice it when you're just using the phone. Unless you shine it in a certain direction in the light, then yeah, you are going to notice it. But I will say you do notice it just a little bit more than when the phone is brand new out of the box. But I mean, that's to be expected. When you're opening it and folding it, so many times, it is going to make that crease just show a little bit more. But honestly, I don't mind it at all. Because like I said, when you're using the phone, you're not thinking about it. You're not sitting there looking at it. No, you're enjoying this big display, doing whatever it is you're doing. Okay, now I want to show some of my favorite AI features here on the Galaxy Z Fold 7, because Samsung has been going hard with AI, and I gotta say, I am truly impressed with some of the AI features that are on this device. Now, I don't use every single one of them, but the ones that I do use definitely come in handy. But before we get into that, look at this. Look at how much wobble we have on this device if you plan on trying to use it flat on the table like that. Even when the device is open, you still get a lot of wobble there. And I do have a case on as well, but because of the camera lenses in the back and how much they protrude out, you're definitely gonna get some wobble there. So I suggest just kind of, putting something on the other side of the top corner, and it takes away some of that wobble there. So now it's, I guess a little bit more flat, at least on the bottom, and then at least the top matches as well. So that's just something I wanted to point out there. Sometimes it's not the easiest using it flat on a table like this. But let's go into the AI settings first so we can see what Samsung has to offer here with the Z Fold 7. So as you can see here is a lot of the AI features that are offered on this device. We got call assist, writing assist, interpreter, which definitely comes in handy and is something I use every once in a while. We got note assist, transcript assist, browsing assist, photo assist, drawing assist, audio eraser, another useful one. So if you're taking a video, you got a lot of background noise, you can get rid of some of that background noise with audio eraser. We got photo ambient wallpaper, we got now brief and health assist. And then you got process data only on device. You can toggle that on or off. But one that I really find to come in handy is generative edit and sketch to image. So this is actually a photo that I took for a thumbnail for another video I've been working on. And with sketch to image, I was able to add a monitor in the back with some pencils. I was also able to add a plant just so it doesn't look so empty back there. And the way to do this is just simply click the little stars there down at the bottom. You can use generative edit to get rid of something. So if I want to get rid of that calendar that I have back there, I can just circle around it, let it highlight it. I can click the little eraser and then click generate, and watch this. It's going to get rid of that calendar back there, and you can't even tell that something used to be there. Look at this. Just let it do its work. Boom. It is now gone. Now I can save copy. So once that copy is saved, I can go ahead and do it again. Go to sketch to image. Okay. Now say I want to add a monitor again. I can go ahead and add a little neck like that. Add a monitor like that. Boom, boom, boom. You don't have to be the best artist. Just click generate and it'll try to guess what it was that you were trying to draw out there. And a lot of the times it will get it right. There are some times where it won't if you don't draw it completely right. Like, look at that. It gave me like an old school monitor, but it was still able to figure out what I was trying to do. So it could be a useful feature. And if it doesn't get it right the first time, you just go back and do it again, and eventually it will get it right. So definitely some cool features here when it does come to, Galaxy AI and, editing photos. Okay, so now quickly, I want to show you guys audio eraser when it comes to video. It's going to try and guess what sounds are in your video, and it'll give you options there on the bottom of what you want to turn, down or turn up. So of course, I want my voice to be heard, so I will turn that up a little bit, turn down the wind noise, and turn down the background noise. Not all the way, but let's see what happens. We can play it, see what it sounds like.
Samsung Galaxy Watch to track all of my walks, all of my runs, my sleeping patterns.
Let's see what the original sounds like.
All throughout these 10 weeks to see how much I improve throughout the weeks, and I will be setting myself new goals every so often.
So as you can see there, it's definitely turning down a lot of that background noise. So audio eraser, definitely something that can come in handy when editing videos when it comes to audio. And then like I mentioned, interpreter is something that can also come in handy. So I actually have a widget set on my home screen in case I need it immediately. I just click on that and then say I want it to translate something in Spanish to English for me. Hola, ¿cómo estás?
Hello.
And as you can see, it does work pretty quick as well. So definitely another useful feature. But when it comes to Galaxy AI on the Galaxy Z Fold 7, I mean, Samsung offers a lot, and a lot of it can definitely come in handy. And I even use it for my emails as well. So there it is. That's all I have to say about the Galaxy Z Fold 7. Overall, I mean, it has been a great phone. Like I said, just handling everything that I throw at it. I have no complaints about, performance. I have no real big complaints about the cameras or even battery life, even though I do wish the battery life, lasted just a little bit longer or the battery size was a little bit bigger. It still gets me through the most important part of my day. The form factor is great. I really have no big complaints about this phone right here. I think Samsung did a really good job with the Galaxy Z Fold 7. I think it just needs a little bit of tweaks here and there, and it can be an even better device. Like I said, we just need that S Pen support back. Samsung, if you are watching this, please give us S Pen support back, or at least for me, give me my S Pen support. But what do y'all think? Let me know down in the comment sections below. The Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 7, like I said, if you have your own, let me know what you think about it down in the comments so far. If you're thinking about getting it and you found this video helpful, make sure to leave a huge thumbs up. Thank you all so very much for watching. If you're not subscribed yet to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that bell for notifications so you don't miss out on any other future videos to come. Thanks for watching. This is Josh Quinones. I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.